The heat can be brutal, and it is not just us who feel it. Our furry friends do too.
They do, and today we're joined by Abby Moore, Community Engagement Coordinator at the Cincinnati Animal Care, to talk about how we can keep our pets safe and cool in the scorching weather. Abby, it's so great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I mean, this is really important to for folks to keep in mind with our pets out there. Explain why this hot weather poses such a significant threat for our pets.
Yeah, of course. So it doesn't take very long for a pet to be out in the heat for it to become really dangerous for them. So we have to think, if we're hot, they're hot. So it's really, really hot for everyone.
Yeah, and then how can pet owners, because you often see people walking their dogs, but how can you test if the surface, the sidewalk, for instance, is safe for pets to even walk on?
Yeah, it sounds so simple, but just touch it. So if it's too hot on your hand, it's going to be too hot on their paws, especially because you have to think all four paws are on the ground. If they're walking for a few minutes on that hot asphalt, it's going to keep their body temperature up, and they're so low to the ground as is, their whole body, so they get their temperatures rising really quickly.
Oh yeah, big time. Well, and I know on Father's Day, our dog Pappy was running around on the pool, and the path gets really hot.
Yeah.
So we were kind of splashing up some water to cool his paws and everything. But what are some of the signs of maybe some of the other things that pet owners need to look out for, like heat stroke or things like that?
Yeah, of course. So something that the first kind of thing to look out for is them panting. If they're excessively panting, you might see that their tongue and their gums are really red and inflamed. They could start feeling really tired. You see that lethargy coming through, even vomiting in extreme cases, and they could even start collapsing. So anytime that your dog is above 104 degrees, their body temperature, it's really important to seek medical attention.
Okay, so let's be proactive about this.
Yeah.
How can pet owners make sure that their dogs are staying cool? What are some of the things we can do?
Yeah, so keeping them in the shade is really important. Like I said, test that ground before you let them walk on it. Typically, grass is a little bit safer for them to be in than concrete or like sidewalks and stuff. If you do notice that they're starting to get overheated, bring them inside, bring them to a cooler temperature. You can put room temperature towels on them or like wet, cool towels on them, and that will help them slowly bring their temperature down. You don't want to do it too quickly with like ice or super cold water.
Yeah, that can be a problem.
Yeah,
right.
If you have dogs that are hairless or really thin hair or even white hair, dogs can get sunburnt. So they have pet sunscreen that you can use to also keep them safe.
What? Pet sunscreen?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Are there any other like specific like products or techniques that you would recommend too?
Yeah, you can, like I said, the idea of putting the towels and stuff on the ground, keeping the paws off. If you have a dog who is kind of have that flat-faced, like a pug or a Frenchie or something like that, it's important to make sure that they're having really short periods outside. They don't pant as easily as other dogs. They don't do it properly like other dogs do. So it's important, only let them out for potty breaks, bring them right back inside. That's kind of the best technique, is just to keep them in cooler air as much as possible.
I didn't think about that.
Like
Right. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And I love the sunscreen. I didn't know there was a sunscreen.
Yeah.
Any other tips that you can share with us today?
Like I said, that's really the best thing to do, is just keep them in that cooler temperature. If they are getting overheated, just bring them in and bring that temperature down a little bit slowly. If you need to take them outside, try to keep them in grassy areas, keep them under shade. Get a baby pool, let them splash around in the water. That keeps them cool if they're water lovers. So any of those techniques are great.
Oh,
like
definitely.
That.
Well, we want our pets to have fun with us outdoors, but we also want them to be safe. Abby, where can folks watching learn more about Cincinnati Animal Care?
Yeah, of course. You can go to our website. It's cincinnatianimalcare.org. We have a ton of adoptable dogs and cats every single day. We actually have a special this weekend. So the 21st through the 23rd, all adult animals are only $5.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming. I love this topic. It's so very timely.
Yeah,
Watch
of course.
your pets
Thank
out
you guys
there.
so much for having me.
All right. Thanks so much, Abby.